या हेलो एवरीवन। सो दिस हमारा कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर चल रहा था एंड कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर में हम लोगों ने 16 लेक्चर्स पहले से कर लिया है। तो ये हमारा 17th होने वाला है ना। दिस इज द 17th लेक्चर ऑफ कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर। ओके। तो चलिए आज हम लोग कंटिन्यू करते हैं और आज हम लोग क्या देखेंगे। जो पहले हम लोगों ने कॉन्सेप्ट या फिर थ्योरी जो भी कुछ हम लोगों ने कर लिया है उसके बेसिस पर आज प्रॉब्लम देखेंगे। ओके। तो बात ये भी हो जाती है कि अगर आप पहले वाले वीडियोस मेरे लेक्चर्स नहीं देख के आए हैं तो आपको आज शायद समझ में नहीं आ सकती है ना। तो इट इज बेटर फॉर यू टू वॉच दोज वीडियोस फर्स्ट एंड देन यू कैन कंटिन्यू विद दिस लेक्चर। ओके। सो या लेट्स कंटिन्यू। सो हमारा आज का पहला क्वेश्चन होने वाला है कि हमारे पास कुछ सवाल दिए गए हैं लाइक हमारे पास सवाल दिए गए हैं 2 + 3i बाय 4 नॉट 4 2 + 3i एंड 3 + 4i 2 - 3i बाय 3 - 4i। ओके। एंड what we want to do is that we have to prove that this is purely real. Okay. So purely real, what is mean by how we can conclude that this is purely real. If the imaginary part becomes zero, then we can say that this complex number is purely real. So let's proceed and try to evaluate this. So we can write this as 2 + 3i and 2 - 3i. Okay. And after that we can write 3 + 4i and 3 - 4i. Okay. 3 + 4i and 3 - 4i. So what we can write? We can write like this: 2 square minus 3i square, and similarly in denominator we have 3 square minus 4i square. Okay. So where is my pen? Yeah. So we can write it as 4 minus 9i square means plus 9. Okay. And 9 plus minus but 4i square na. So this becomes 16 and I square is -1. So this becomes plus and this is 16. So we get 13 by what we get 25. So clearly here the imaginary part is 0. So we can write it as which is purely real, which is purely real. Okay. And we have another question also, which uh, uh, we have to prove that this is also purely real. So we have 3 + 2i by 2 - 3i. Okay. Plus 3 - 2i, 3 - 2i by, and we have 2 + 3i. So we have to show that this is purely real. So let's evaluate this. We can write it as 3 + 2i and 2 + 3i. Okay. And plus 3 - 2i and 2 - 3i divided by 2 - 3i, 2 + 3i. We can write it as 6 plus 9i plus 4i plus 6i square plus 6 minus 9i minus 4i plus 6i square, and we can write it as 4 minus 9. Okay. So 9i square. So this becomes plus 9. And here we can cancel out this 4i and minus 4i. And all things are right. And we also can cancel out 9i and minus 9i. So we left 12 plus 6i square. So I square is minus 1. So we can write minus 6 plus 13. So this becomes 6 by 13, which is purely real, which is purely real. Okay. Now we have another question like express 1 minus 2i minus q in the standard standard form a plus ib. Okay, a plus ib. So let's proceed. And we have 1 minus 2i minus q equal to 1 by 1 minus 2i cube, and we can split in a plus b whole cube. So we get 1 minus 8i cube minus 6i plus 12 12i square. Okay, so we can write it as 1 plus 8i minus 6i minus 12 and minus 1 by minus 111 plus 2i. Okay, and we can write it as 1 minus 11 plus 2i into minus 11 minus 2i by minus 11 minus 2i equal to minus 11 minus 2i by minus 11 square minus 2i square equal to minus 11 minus 2i by 125 equal to minus 11 by 125 minus 2 by 125 I. Okay, so this is how we can solve this. And if we go with another problem, then our next question is perform the indicated operation and find the result in the form of a plus ib. And this one is easy. Okay, so I think that I should skip this problem. And yeah, let's solve this problem. Like if we have a problem, we have a question. If z1 z2 are 1 minus I minus 2 plus 4i respectively, find find imaginary part of z1 z2 by z1 bar. Okay, so we can solve this solution. If z1 z2 are minus 1 minus I and minus 2 plus 4i respectively, find imaginary part of z1 z2 z1 into z2 by z1 conjugate. So yeah, it is seems easy, but let's solve this problem. Like first of all, we have to calculate Z1 into Z2 by Z1 conjugate, na? And after finding this, we can find imaginary part of this term. So we have 1 minus I and minus 2 plus 4I by Z1 conjugate means 1 minus I conjugate. Okay, so we can write it as minus 2 plus 4 plus I 2 plus 4 by 1 plus I equal to 2 plus 6I 1 plus I equal to here we can rationalize, we can multiply 1 minus I and 1 minus I numerator in denominator. So we can write it as 2 plus 6I by 1 plus I into 1 minus I by 1 minus I equal to 2 plus 6 plus I 6 minus 2 by 1 plus 1. So we get 4 plus 2I. Okay. So if we get 4 plus 2I, therefore, what will be the imaginary part of Z1 Z2 by Z1 conjugate? 2. So 2 is the answer. Okay. And now coming to the another problem. And now we have a question. We have a few question about equality of complex number. Okay. So yeah, this type of question is also uh, let's see this type of question like two complex number Z1 Z2. Okay, so we have a question like find the real numbers, find the real values, find the real values of x and y, of x and y if if uh, if 3x minus 7 plus 2iy equal to minus 5y plus 5 plus x I. Okay, so we have to solve this, and how we can solve it? Find the real values of x and y. Okay, so by equality of complex number, we can simply compare the imaginary part and real part. Okay, so from here we can write as implies 3x minus 7 equal to minus 5y. Okay, and 2y equal to 5 plus x. 2y equal to 5 plus x. So implies we can write it as 3x plus 5y equal to 7 and uh, x minus 2y equal to minus 5. Okay, and after solving this, if we take this equation 1 and this as equation 2, so on solving equation 1 and 2, we get we get x equal to -1 and y equal to 2. Okay, so hope you are able to understand what I did. And if we take another type of question, then yeah, we have another question like this, and we have another problem like this, and let's solve this problem also. uh, and yeah, so let's see another type of question also. Like we have another question. There is a question like find the real values of x and y, and the real values of x and y for which the following equalities hold. Okay, and we have a problem x power 4 minus 2xi minus 3x square plus iy equal to 3 minus 5i plus 1 plus 2iy. Okay, so we have to solve this, and the real values of x and y for which the following equalities hold. So we have x power 4 minus 2xi minus 3x square plus iy equal to 3 minus 5i plus 1 plus 2iy. Okay, and what we can do is we can take common. Okay, or we can compare imaginary part and real part, but before that we have to separate imaginary part and real part. So we can write this as x to the power 4 minus 3x square. Okay, and uh, plus I 2x minus y equal to 4 plus I 2y minus 5. Now on equating real and imaginary part, we get x to the power 4 minus 3x square minus 4 equal to 0. Not 0, but let us split into more steps so you can understand it better. On equating real and imaginary parts, yeah, so x to the power 4 minus 3x square equal to 4 and 2x minus y equal to 2y minus 5. Yeah, equal to x to the power 4 minus 3x square minus 4 equal to 0. 2x minus 3y plus 5 equal to 0. Okay. Now we have to solve this now. So let's take first equation, and now x to the power 4 minus 3x square minus 4 equal to 0. So we can write this as implies x square minus 4 and x square plus 1 equal to 0, and implies by x square minus 4 equal to 0, and this becomes x equal to plus minus 2. You can write this as like this. Now putting x equal to plus minus 2 in 2x minus 3y plus 5 equal to 0. Okay, so what we get? We get y equal to 3 when x equal to 2. Okay, when x equal to 2, and y equal to 1 by 3 when x equal to minus 2. Thus x equal to 2 and y equal to 3, or x equal to minus 2 and y equal to 1 by 3. Yeah, तो होप आप लोग को चीज़ें यहाँ तक समझ में आ रही होगी, एंड आज के लिए यहीं तक रखते हैं। एंड हाँ, अगर आप लोगों को कोई भी डाउट हो तो आप मुझे इंस्टा पे मैसेज कर सकते हो, एंड माई इंस्टा ID @IRSHAD _FAIZI, एंड इसका लिंक तो मैं डिस्क्रिप्शन में भी दे दूंगा। और अगर आप लोग को 1-to-1 लाइव क्लास चाहिए, ऑनलाइन लाइव क्लास चाहिए, तो इसके लिए भी आप मुझे DM कर सकते हो। तो या थैंक यू, थैंक्स अ लॉट टू बी विद मी टिल हियर। बाय।